During our adventures together, we've experienced many of the Disney resorts, either as a guest staying overnight or just visiting and doing a little bit of resort hopping. And in today's video, I'm going to list out what I like most about these different resorts and which ones are my favorite in each category: deluxe, moderate, and value. Now in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the different Disney resorts. If you're looking for more details about each one, you can find those videos on my channel as well. Let's start first with those value resorts. Disney's value resorts are exactly as they sound. They offer a great value for those looking to save money at Walt Disney World. The least expensive Disney resorts on property don't mean the worst by any stretch of the imagination, but there are differences between the different ones in that category. There are currently 5 value resorts at Walt Disney World, including the Art of Animation Resort, Pop Century, and 3 different All-Star resorts: All-Star Sports, All-Star Music, and All-Star Movies. If you're looking to save the absolute most money possible, the All-Star resorts are perfect for you. They offer the best value you could possibly find at Walt Disney World. Now you know me, I stay at value resorts all the time to save money at Disney and to save up for other adventures, so by no means are the value resorts not enough Disney for me. But you've never seen me stay at an all-star resort before, and you're probably saying, Michael, there's gotta be a reason for that. There is. The theming. For some, the all-star resorts are absolutely perfect, and you have to know yourself. Do you like that theming? Do you like that level of theming? Is this the perfect amount of magic for you? If so, it is a great way to save money. But for me, and this is just my opinion, I feel like it's missing just a touch of Disney magic. It's really tough to describe because as you look at the pictures, it really does look well themed. The objects are larger than life. You walk around, you see a lot of Disney everywhere. But when I am there in person, I feel just a little bit underwhelmed by the All-Stars. Another reason why I tend to avoid the All-Star resorts is because many times a lot of tour groups or sports groups will stay there because it's the least expensive. It makes sense for schools and other groups to stay there. They will stay there, and sometimes they can be just a little bit loud, especially in the early mornings or late evenings, just a little bit loud. So I'm looking for a little bit of a quieter value resort, and that brings us to the other two. The other two value resorts are uniquely themed in their own way. Starting off with one of the more recent additions, the Art of Animation Resort has 4 unique areas: the Cars area, Little Mermaid, Finding Nemo, and The Lion King. One of the greatest advantages of the Art of Animation Resort is the accommodations for up to 6 guests in one party. Believe it or not, a vast majority of the rooms at the Art of Animation Resort are actually suites suited for up to 6 guests. So if you have 5 or 6 guests in your party and you don't mind staying in one suite together, this might be a great solution to save some money. In each of these lists, I'm saving my favorite till the end, so that leaves Pop Century, and it is my favorite value resort. We've stayed at Pop Century together many times. It allows me to go and experience the magic over and over again. I can save money for future adventures, and it has a great theme. But why do I keep staying at Pop Century over somewhere like Art of Animation, which is relatively newer? It comes down to one detail: the size. The Art of Animation Resort has a beautiful theme, but it's relatively large. For someone who's staying in one of the single rooms and not in the suites, I'm usually in the Little Mermaid section. It's a really nice section. However, it just feels like it's so far away from the main building and the refill station for your mug and the bus depot. It feels like I'm walking an incredible distance, even though it's not that far, to my room, and I'd just rather have that smaller size of Pop Century for my adventures. The smaller size, the throwback theme, and the ability to save money to go on future Disney adventures is why I keep going to Pop Century over and over again, and it's why it's my favorite value resort at Disney. Now moving on to the moderate resorts at Walt Disney World, and there are 5 at the time of filming. The 5 moderate resorts are Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter, Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs, and the cabins at Fort Wilderness. Moderate resorts at Walt Disney World take a step up from the value resorts in terms of theming and in price, but aren't quite at the same level in terms of amenities as the deluxe resorts. Now there is a ton of construction going on at 2 of the moderate resorts at the time of filming, so let's start with those: Coronado Springs and Caribbean Beach. Coronado Springs is a very unique theme with touches of early Aztec with Western, a little bit of Spanish in there. It is a really cool place to visit. Right off off the bat, Coronado Springs is a unique moderate resort because it has something that the other moderate resorts don't, and that's a gym. Usually this amenity is saved for those deluxe resorts, but since Coronado Springs is a conference resort, it does have one for guests to use. Now this is an important point because even though it has a great theme and a fun pool and that gym, it does have that conference center. So when you're there, more than likely you will see a lot of conference goers with you. Now if this is not a problem for you and you don't mind at all, then maybe Coronado Springs is perfect for you. But if you think this could be a minor annoyance, maybe another moderate resort would be best. Next we have the Caribbean Beach Resort, which is undergoing a major refurbishment, but it's not to the rooms, it's to the layout itself. The Caribbean Beach Resort has a lot of great things going for it, like a great theme. However, there is one thing that keeps me away from the Caribbean Beach Resort, and I haven't been back too recently just because it's a little bit of a hassle. The fact that the main building, the area where you catch a bus to your favorite Disney destination, the place where you check in, check out, and catch the Magical Express, is a building that is so far away from the resort rooms that you have to catch an internal bus to get to it. You cannot walk to it. You have to catch a bus to get to that main central building. There is a ton of construction going on at the Caribbean Beach Resort right now, and the proposed plan is that the new main building will be closer to those resort rooms. I'm so glad Disney is doing this because in the past that was quite a hassle and I think kept many guests from going to that resort. So that should be changed in the future. Also, Disney's working on another resort right next door called the Riviera Resort. So part of the construction that you see is a tower going up. That's a new resort. Now you can probably tell from the name, but the theme of the Caribbean Beach Resort is Caribbean, with Trinidad North and Trinidad South and Martinique. They have all sorts of different names and the theming goes so well together. Now one of my favorite things about the Caribbean Beach Resort are those really beautiful pictures that you can take at sunrise or sunset with the water right there and the palm trees. Oh my gosh, some amazing pictures I have captured there. There is a lot to like at the Caribbean Beach Resort, and I'm looking forward to going again once the construction is complete. However, once that construction is complete, there is one thing that is a negative at Caribbean Beach that I have a feeling they won't be able to fix even after the construction, and that's the overwhelming size. If there's a resort that has 2 bus stops or maybe even 3, I can deal with that. I can say, you know what, okay, a couple extra stops, no big deal, 1 or 2, no problem. Believe it or not, the Caribbean Beach Resort at the time of filming has 6. If there was a way for Disney to shrink the resort, maybe just make it 2, maybe even 3 bus stops, maybe even 4, I would say, okay, let's do this. But it's 6. I'm telling you, it is so many. And after a very long day in the park, if you rely on the bus transportation like I do, you don't have your own car, you are definitely going to feel it. At a long day in the park, you're exhausted, you just want to fall down in bed, and you still have 4 bus stops to go. Just envision this. So it's just something to keep in mind. If there was some way to shrink it down, it could be one of the best moderate resorts at Walt Disney World, but with that overwhelming size, it's definitely something that I keep in mind. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the Caribbean Beach Resort. It's got a great pool, a great theme, and provides for some amazing pictures, but with all those bus stops, I usually don't pick it as my first choice. Now moving on to the cabins at Fort Wilderness, one of the most unique Disney resorts. If you're looking for a resort that will take you back to nature and really put you in the middle of it, but still feel those comforts of Disney, this might be perfect for you. However, if you're looking for more of a resort feel and some views of nature, not being in the middle of it, then maybe one of the other resorts would be better. Now, I haven't stayed at one of the cabins since I was about 3 years old, so I remember none of it. I'm hoping to go back again soon. One reason I haven't been back relatively recently is because of the price. They're actually closer to the Deluxe Resort, even though they are categorized as a moderate. They're the most expensive moderates you can find at Disney. Now on to my top 2 moderate resorts at Walt Disney World, and they're both named Port Orleans. We have Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter. Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter do share a name, but they are unique in their own way. Riverside has more of an open feel with very large buildings, and the lobby has a very grand feeling to it. Right next to the lobby, you can find some very unique entertainment at the lounge featuring Bob Jackson, which is hilarious. Your entire family is going to be laughing the whole time. Throughout the night, you're going to be laughing, having a great time time with this one. Now, if you compare Riverside to French Quarter, it's very different. French Quarter's got more of a close-knit feel, those cobblestone walkways, and it really perfectly combines a lot of New Orleans flair with Disney magic. They both have unique pools and other fun activities, and the ability to take a boat from your resort directly to Disney Springs. If you love Disney Springs and want to spend all night there and just want to go straight back to your resort without having to worry about anything, Port Orleans is definitely a great choice for you. Either Riverside or French Quarter offer this boat transportation, super convenient. Between the two, I pick French Quarter. It doesn't mean I don't like the theming of Riverside and everything about Riverside. It's amazing. It all just comes down to one thing: the size. Are you noticing a theme here? When I'm at Walt Disney World, just being a cobblestone's throw away from the resort refillable mug station and those buses is so convenient. I love Riverside as well, absolutely, no doubt about it. And if I had to pick between all of the value resorts and all of the moderate resorts minus French Quarter, I would pick Riverside in a heartbeat. But for the size, the convenience of French Quarter, that is my favorite moderate resort. Last but not least, we make it to the Disney Deluxe Resorts. These are the creme de la creme, the piece de resistance, the top of the line combination of luxury, theming, and relaxation everywhere you look, and at the time of filming, there are 8 of them. They include the Beach Club, the Yacht Club, the Boardwalk Inn, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Polynesian Village Resort, the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Wilderness Lodge, and the Contemporary Resort. Let's start first with the Magic Kingdom Resorts, the ones that follow the monorail right across the way from the Magic Kingdom. They include the Contemporary, the Polynesian Village Resort, and the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. These are some of the easiest resorts to access at Walt Disney World. You just hop on the monorail and you're there. The Contemporary has some great shopping and phenomenal dining, including the California Grill on top of the Contemporary with amazing views, and one of my family's favorites, Chef Mickey's. The next stop will take you to Hawaii without that expensive plane ticket, the Polynesian Village Resort. It's my favorite resort on the monorail line, and you can probably tell as you walk in and see an amazing theme, or go to Ohana and get a great family-style buffet, or Captain Cook's for some amazing nachos, or just stop by Pineapple Lanai for a pineapple Dole Whip and relaxing with a view of Magic Kingdom. Following the monorail around, we have the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. This is the original top-tier Disney resort, and as you walk into the lobby, it will make you feel grand. You just look up and see the chandelier, and if you're there for the holidays, this is the resort that I recommend you visit, with a larger-than-life tree and a gingerbread house that is human-sized. There are people, cast members, inside this gingerbread house. The whole place smells like gingerbread, and they are selling things from within the gingerbread house. It is phenomenal to see. I love visiting the Magic Kingdom resorts, especially on maybe a hot day or a crowded day in the Magic Kingdom. It's great just to get away for a little while, maybe some special dining, or just relaxing on the beach of the Polynesian. It doesn't hurt. It's a great way to enhance your experience. Now, speaking of a great resort for the middle of your Magic Kingdom day, we can't forget one of my new favorites, Wilderness Lodge. It's a quick boat ride from the Magic Kingdom, and simply put, Wilderness Lodge is your way back to nature. You can see it all over Wilderness Lodge, whether you're stepping off the boat and seeing the trees growing from within the deck, and Disney has actually made holes for the trees to grow through, or just walking through the lobby and seeing these amazing totem poles and the rustic feel and the geyser at Geyser Point. It is amazing. There are so many things about Wilderness Lodge that I love. Now, I do have to mention Geyser Point and one of my favorite burgers at Walt Disney World at the time of filming, the Bison Burger. Oh my gosh, so good. I'm still holding out hope that Disney's going to open it up for breakfast again one day in the future. I love the breakfast too, but that burger in the afternoon, so good. They also have great table service dining at Wilderness Lodge as well. There's no doubt about it. Wilderness Lodge is moving up on my priority list when it comes to resort hopping. Now let's move on to the Epcot Deluxe Resorts with the Yacht Club and its sister resort, the Beach Club, and right across the way you can find the Boardwalk Inn. Let's start first with the Yacht and Beach Club Resort. These two resorts have so many amenities between the two that really make it a shining star, in my opinion, with beaches and cream soda shop, Cape May Cafe, some great table service dining options for dinner. But one thing that is really a highlight for me and for guests who stay at the Yacht and Beach, it's the resort pool, Stormalong Bay. This is the #1 resort pool at Walt Disney World, or maybe any resort anywhere. I'm telling you, this pool is phenomenal. And I could talk about the sand bottom, the slide, I could talk about all of that, but the big piece of it, the thing that really draws me in, draws my grandmother in, my whole family, we want to go back to this resort, simply because of the lazy river at the resort pool. My family and I stayed there years ago and loved it, and my grandmother has been talking about going back to that lazy river. We're gonna make it happen one of these days. It is going to happen. Right across the way from the Yacht and Beach Club is Disney's Boardwalk Inn Resort. Disney's Boardwalk Inn has a lot of great amenities like the pool, and the theme is fantastic, but the boardwalk itself, being able to just experience the boardwalk, maybe get some ice cream, see some entertainment while you're there, it is part of the experience and really makes it a phenomenal spot. I still remember when I was a kid and my family and I went to the Boardwalk Inn and we just happened across the Boardwalk Buskers. They were some of the best entertainment, in my opinion, at the Boardwalk. I love them. Our family and I saw the show a dozen times. We must have, because we loved it so much. It's great memories. I could look back on it, and I'm looking forward to staying there again in the not so distant future. Last but definitely not least on my list is Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jambo House, and Kidani Village. Jambo House and Kidani Village are unique in their own way, but share so many amazing things between the two of them, from shopping and dining like Boma and Sanaa, and one of my favorite resorts at Disney with the zebra domes. But one thing that really sets it apart to me are those views of the savannah. From your resort hotel, you have your own private savannah with Watusi cattle, giraffe, zebra just wandering around. You can spend all day watching the animals, and at night they have night vision goggles for resort guests to see them at night. It is just so cool. And to me, this is the #1 Disney Deluxe Resort, my personal favorite, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village. The reason why my personal favorite is Kidani Village over Jambo House, even though they are right next to each other, is because of that private feel. It really feels close-knit, really quiet, serene. I love it. Jambo House is a little bit bigger, a lot more traffic, a lot more guests walk through there. Kidani Village almost feels private. I love it. Now, along with the 8 deluxe resorts, there are others that I like to call semi-deluxe resorts. They include Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. Both Old Key West and Saratoga Springs do have advantages. I haven't stayed there in the longest time, but one of the greatest advantages of Saratoga Springs is its convenience to Disney Springs. You can literally walk from your resort at Saratoga to Disney Springs anytime you want. It's very convenient, very quiet, and relatively inexpensive compared to other Disney Deluxe resorts. And let's not forget the campground at Fort Wilderness, perfect for those who like an extra excursion. And for those military members in our Disney family, thank you for your service. The Shades of Green Resort is also available to you. So my favorite resorts at Walt Disney World at the time of filming: Pop Century for the Value Resort, Port Orleans French Quarter for the Moderate Resort, and Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village for Disney's Deluxe Resort. Now that you know my favorites, I would love to hear yours in the comments below. What's your favorite value, moderate, and deluxe resort at Walt Disney World? It can be totally different from mine. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and seeing which one wins. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.